There we go. Now it's live. What's going on, people? It's your good buddy SPJ here. It is Thursday. It is that bat time. It is that bat channel. It's time for SPJ Live, and today I've decided to invite one of my good buddies in this crazy, wacky business to come hang out for a little bit with me. The one and only, the incomparable Alex Auxier from Orange Amps Artist Relations. Buddy, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Whenever I see your initials, I immediately assume that it says Sarah Jessica Parker. I think that's what it means, and then
It's not the first time that someone has said this to me, so you know, it's okay. I can deal with it.
I'm sorry. I realize the comment's not original. No, I don't feel good about it.
Nah.
I think maybe we should just end this.
Well, okay. Well, there you go, everybody. Thanks so much for joining in for the shortest edition. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't go away, sweetie. Sweetie. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. There you go. Okay. We're okay, folks. Alex is gonna stay.
I'm here. Good to be here.
Good to have you.
Thank you for letting me choose my my name.
Yeah, you can choose your own name. That's the great thing about StreamYard is you can type whatever the hell you want into this little banner right under our name, our picture right here for our names. I'm trying to be all professional here. Alex has chosen to go a completely different route, and that's
one could say that maybe having a watermark on your live video is not necessarily professional in and of itself, Sean.
Yeah. Well, you know, you got to
just buy the real version, dude.
Yeah, buy the real version and don't skimp. You know, we could all do those things right now. But I'm gonna start drinking now.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, sir.
What do you have there?
For those curious, I am drinking Russian River Brewing Company's Defenestration. Defenestration is the act of throwing somebody out of a multi-story window. And as you can see, both an elephant and a donkey being thrown out of the top story window of that that tower right there, which kind of sums up a lot of how I feel. But we're not going to get into that tonight, folks.
Yeah, it's different than defenestration.
What is defenestration?
Well, you're jumping out of a window, but you're also doing something else.
Oh, I'm just going to take his word for it.
That's not a real word. Absolutely not.
Oh, damn it. You could have gotten away with it.
Oh, really? You think there's a word for jumping out of a window while fornicating at the same time? That'd be amazing.
There's a word for everything.
Boy, we're already here. We are already, buddy.
Oh, here we are already.
I got some Maker's Mark.
Oh, damn, that's
my
good.
Favorite light drinker. Coors Light.
Yep, Coors Light. Well, why exactly did I ask this guy onto the show? Well, for a couple of reasons. One,
I have a very popular Instagram live stream called Artist Relations Corner, Tuesdays and Fridays with me, Alex Auxier, Artist Relations Manager for Orange.
Exactly, and I'm trying to take advantage of that. Number one. Number two, whether you realize it or not, this dude has been one of my longest tenured colleagues and friends in this crazy, wacky music business, which is kind of amazing. I don't have many friends that have lasted nearly 8 to 10 years in this business, but you are one of two. So there you go.
Thank you.
And because I get a lot of questions from you guys, because I use Orange Amps almost exclusively on this channel and do so much demo stuff with them, how really the whole thing between me and Orange got started. And a lot of it has to do with meeting this guy. So I actually don't know some things about you, Alex, that I think I want to find, but you know, we'll see what happens. When did you actually start artist relations for Orange?
I would say probably 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you just want to know how I got here?
Well,
in a nutshell, you want the elevator?
Give me the Spark Notes version.
The hell is Spark Notes?
Spark Notes, Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes. Okay.
Cliff Notes.
Is that like a East Coast, West Coast thing or something? Is that like soda pop cola?
No. Oh, you know what? Cliff Notes were the physical books that you could get that like summarized books and literature. Spark Notes was the online version. That's what
okay.
it was.
Okay, cool. Well, the Cliff Notes versions, I don't want to call it Spark Notes.
Go ahead.
Cliff Notes version of this is that I graduated high school. I graduated college in 2005.
Nice.
And I didn't want to get a real job right away. And my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, and I were saving to go to Europe. So I got a job as an intern at Orange, not really realizing what Orange was at the time. And then I remember showing up and I was like, oh, I have a friend that actually works here. That's awesome. And his name is Russell Blair. He was the designer at the time. And so automatically kind of got the gig. I did that for about 5-6 months. And then we went to Europe. Orange couldn't take me back when we came home. So I left and went and did web development, offshoring web development to the Ukraine. That lasted about a year. I had way too stupid high of a title for how much I knew. It paid me a surprising amount of money for my age group and my knowledge of web development, which was zero.
Wow.
Zero. We were managing a team of like 45 people in the Ukraine. Somebody didn't pay the right person, so we got bricks through the window here in the USA, and that was when I left.
Ooh.
So, yeah, basically, I just failed. Came back to Orange in customer service, inside sales. Got to know all the dealers. Got to know the ins and outs of the logistics and the operations. We only had like 5 people working there then. Mm-hmm. So we had the artist relations guy, but he just wasn't very good, man. I'll be honest with you. And
that's okay.
We ended up letting him go, and we sat around in a room, just me and the other 3 dudes that were there at the time. Luke was one of them. You know Luke from now he works at Earthquaker. And we were like, who wants to do artist relations? And I was like, I do. So basically that turned into the worldwide artist relations manager. I also started Orange's social media back in like 2009 during the economic collapse. A couple of us were like, uh-oh, what do we do? Because sales have plummeted and we need to figure out how we're going to get out of this. How do we keep our jobs at Orange? And that was Facebook and Instagram and, you know, all that stuff. And yeah, man. So that's the gist of it. I kind of got lucky and I kind of happened into this role, but I also have played music most of my life. And, you know,
most of us that work in this industry in one position or another have played at least at one point in our life. So it's not surprising that you find yourself like in one area and then all of a sudden here you are. And you said 2009, and I'm wondering, because I recall the first time we met. Mm-hmm. The first time we met was in June or July of 2009 at Summer NAMM.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you remember, and the only reason I vividly remember this moment is because I was there with a local company, an upstart amp company, and they had brought me to Nashville with them to do demo work with them. And there was another guy that they had brought in from another state. I had never met him before. And I said like, oh man, Orange is here and they've got all the new stuff. Awesome. It's so hard to find Orange stuff where I live in SoCal. This is great. I want to play all the new things. Well, he decides to walk over with me, and in our little conversation, he finds out that, you know, I have an Orange. I'm using it all over the place. I'm making music with it. I'm touring. I'm gigging with it. And he starts like selling me to you on the show floor. And it was one of the most embarrassing things because I'm this like shithead 19, 20-year-old that's just like, dude, I'm just trying to have some fun here right now. I don't need you to like push me to someone. Like I'm just content right now to just like shake hands and make contact. Like this is okay. You don't need to go this far. And like, I still remember, like, I think you probably begrudgingly just gave me your card, which I totally understand in hindsight. It's like,
and now I don't even have cards.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, I remember back then getting your card and just remembering I'm too embarrassed to even email him. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So fast forward a couple years, we've, not really, it wasn't really a thing of keeping in touch. It's just like life happens and things go the way that they go. And when you started in artist relations, Orange was not nearly as big as it was.
No.
You said
when I started artist relations, I mean, we were doing like $1.2 million a year in the USA.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, basically the same amount of money that we were doing before I took my sabbatical and went to Europe when I was an intern at Orange. We had like 10 employees. That's why when I came back from Europe, they couldn't take us back. They had just totally mismanaged it at the time.
Right.
And so, fast forward like a year or two, and we were making the same amount of money, but with only 4 employees. Now we're making literally 10 times that. So
fantastic.
Yeah. It's been crazy, man. I mean, I've been here for 13 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there aren't too many of us left that have been there over, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I mean, it's like a part of me now, and it's almost impossible to let go.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, dude.
I once told someone who wanted to get in touch with you that I never give out your email, and I would never give out your phone number. But if Alex were to somehow leave Orange, that would be a sign that there's something wrong, and I should.
Oh shit! You make sure you tell Cliff Cooper that next time you see him.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
That is a shining endorsement right there, in my opinion.
Well, dude, it's like it goes back to eventually. It goes back to just how our relationship got started. Because when you officially said, like, yeah, dude, you consider yourself an Orange Amps artist, I was a nobody. But one of the things that you gave me credit for was you clearly have a passion for our stuff, and you are doing stuff with it. So I have room for you on my artist roster right now. And it's like, you took a chance on me. And when I've needed you to promote something, you did. You guys continue to support the channel, which is awesome. And it's like, okay, these guys clearly took a chance on me. I'm already passionate about the gear. And the people that I associate with this company are as important to me as the gear itself. Because as I made a comment on your artist relations corner, talk frequently, don't be a dick, and be friends. It's like, if I can't be your friend, that's a big problem. And if we can't have some sort of relationship where it's like, dude, like, you're awesome, I love you, man, then chances are, if something wrong happens and you're gone or someone else is gone, it's like, now why would they do that? Right.
I feel that, man. I don't have many artists that I work with that I don't get along with. It's pretty rare. It's obviously a big component is, you mentioned that the thing about, when I said, like, you're trying, you're making an effort, you're doing it, you know what I mean? That's so true. And also, and when you say talk frequently, to me, that means be proactive with content and making sure that I'm aware of what you're doing so that I can help promote it. You know what I mean? Because a big part of having an endorsement is having the company act as a platform for promoting, your shit. So I think that it's more important to me that artists be proactive than it is artists be huge.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. I mean, obviously some artists are at the level where I don't care if they send me a picture. I don't care if they do much of anything, because that piece of gear gets on TV occasionally and it's always on festival stages. Yeah. I don't even need to have a relationship with some of those guys to benefit from it. You know what I mean? But the majority of guys that I work with are smaller than that, medium-sized guys as well, and they a big part of our friendship has to be how up to date they keep me, and how much they support me
Right.
when I need it. The same as, our artists come out of the woodwork all the time, and they're like,
yeah.
hey man, haven't talked to you in 2 years, going on a European trip or a European tour. Can I get backline? Oh, the cost for this was really high. Oh, well, it's half off what it would usually be. Yeah, I think we're just going to use some gear that we have stored away or whatever. It's like, okay, dude, well, this is a great relationship. Haven't heard from you in 2 years. You just want something. I'm more likely to give an endorsement or just an offer of any sort of support to somebody who, feeds me. Feed me, man.
Feed me, man.
Video, photo, links
right.
to stuff featuring your band or you. Tell me when your album's coming out. Let me tell people about it.
Looks like
agree to come on streams.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, by the way. Looks like we got a little friend for you in the chat. Fopstar Amplification is here.
Yeah, Drew. Hell yeah, my man.
Thanks for joining in. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the people in the chat. There's some regular viewers here. Aaron Lee of Albus Band, Terry's GG&G, Ben Coombs, moderator to the stars. We got my buddy Dakota Plays Guitar here in the chat as well. Man, Bent Tom is here. You guys are coming out. I appreciate it so much. Please keep the chat going. If you guys have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to throw them in the chat as well. Feel free to share the link. This will be up. I'm just, I want to have some fun with this. This is going to be a good time.
This guy, Ben, at least this guy is better than your last guest. I'm not going to ask who your last guest was in a live stream, but damn, bro, that's rough.
Ben was the last guest.
Oh, shit. Perfect. You got me, Ben. Well done.
Yeah, dude. I got some good people. Ben's good people. Ben's another guy like me doing the thing. He's kind of an up and comer. He was here with me, hanging out with a bunch of other guys who are actually here in the chat during NAMM weekend, jamming out, and everybody was plugging through the rocker verb as usual.
That's a good amp. Is that a Mark 1?
Yeah, dude. This is that's my Mark 1 rocker verb.
Is that a 50? It looks like a 50 or is it 100?
No, it's 100. But dude, I'm on the lookout for a Mark 150, and I'm
they're harder to get, man.
I know, and I have eyes on 2 listings for an 80 140.
Oh, that's the hardest one to get.
I know. Dude, I kick myself for not.
So you were. Wait a second. Did you see when I posted like a month ago the dude trying to sell his for like $1,000?
I think maybe I did, because I was watching a listing for an 80 140 that was around $1,000. I just did not have the spare cash to be able to jump into that.
If y'all don't know, the 80 140 is my personal favorite amp. It's several people that currently work at Orange's personal favorite Orange amp of all time.
That's one that I've definitely heard within our little Orange fan circle, where everybody's like, when are they going to reissue it? And it's like, guys.
Dude, it's the Omar Rodriguez Mars Volta amp, and that's how so many people know it. And also like one appearance by Prince on GMA.
There you go. Yeah.
No, but Prince actually bought all of his 8140s. He bought like 4 8140s, and he bought like 8 412 cabs from True Tone Music in Santa Monica. And he didn't contact us for any sort of support on that one. He just went ahead and bought that shit at full street price.
Nice.
And then he put it on GMA, and he played it for like a year or two. And then all of a sudden, I think this is what I was told. He had like a Made in America revelation. And so he went back to using something else that he was, something Made in America or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I still remember going and seeing the Mars Volta on the Francis the Mute tour, and just seeing Omar's big, like, untolexed stacks of Orange amps. Oh God, that was life-changing moment right there.
That was one of my best concerts ever. I say this all the time, man. Bonnaroo, Mars Volta, 2005 or 6. Absolutely one of the best concerts I ever saw. Late night show in one of the tents, and yeah, man. I mean, I was good to go. So the sound was enhanced. And then obviously he had those those 8140s, like a whole like 3 of them or something, all plugged in as loud as they could go, and the sound was jarring and it was piercing. It was like he was like rubbing my brain with a blanket.
I'm picturing it right now in my head.
Yeah, it's amazing, dude. Now Thomas Pridgeon was playing with him then, you know. I didn't know Thomas then, man, but now Thomas and I are good buddies, man. I mean, he's one of my favorites.
God, Thomas Pridgeon, man, that dude's unreal. I remember working at, like, not to go towards anything of the time right now, but I spent 3 years working as a sound engineer in an all-black church in Compton. So the only white guy in an all-black church. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But every single drummer that came through that church and worked in the band.
Was it like a gospel church?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, musicians in gospel. Oh my God, it's the best.
They knew Thomas Pridgeon, and when I would hear them talk about Thomas Pridgeon, I'm like, oh, you mean the drummer for the Mars Volta? And they're like, no. And
no, man.
like,
Thomas grew up church drumming, man.
Yeah.
And
as the drummers say, he's got those gospel chops.
Yeah. I don't know if they'd want him in a church right now with how hard he hits the drums, man. Like you'd have to put him behind a barrier to work in that setting No, I'm just kidding, man. He can tame it. I actually saw him just before social distancing started on March 11th. The Free Nationals, who I work with, Anderson .Paak's band,
right? They
came through Atlanta and they had Thomas drumming for them on that tour, and so we got to hang out and everything, man. And he was in really good spirits, dude.
Cool.
You know, yeah.
Awesome.
And the whole band was killer, man. Have you listened to them, Free Nationals? Anderson .Paak.
Before I answer the question, sidebar: Anderson .Paak was at MI at the same time as I was at MI.
So you've never heard of him, right?
Never heard of him.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me put on my fucking hipster hat right now. I knew Anderson .Paak before he was Anderson .Paak.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And back then, he was just like, he was just another drum student walking the halls, like doing his thing. And he had a band going at the time, but not quite like what the Free Nationals are. Mm-mm. So yeah, it was very cool. Very cool to see like one of the crew actually make something of themselves. But yeah, I've taken a listen to a couple things. It's pretty good stuff. It's not something I want to listen to all the time, but when I'm in the mood,
bro,
when I'm in the mood, it's good.
I would highly encourage everyone to go see Anderson .Paak live. Please go see Anderson .Paak live. He is destined to be one of the next great entertainers. Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, he got charisma out the ass, man.
Oh, it's charisma and it's talent.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah. Now
he could command from behind the drums.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It's incredible. So, where am I based out of, Ben? I'm based out of Atlanta.
Atlanta, GA.
Yeah, the UK actually let me be on the management team controlling something. Isn't that great?
Nice.
They did it. They call me septic, but I still gave me some sort of power. So thanks, guys.
There you go. Yeah, it is. It's something that I don't think a whole lot of people realize just how international Orange has become in this like very short span of time.
Dude, we're like the top amplifier company in China right now.
That's crazy.
I mean, what we have going on over there, which I'm barely even involved in. I mean, very kind of higher level, agreeing on a general principle to endorse certain people, but for the most part, they're doing it over there themselves, and they are doing crazy stuff. I mean, we are selling Orange amps out the ass over there. It's fantastic.
Charlie was saying something to me about that at NAMM, how like China has just exploded for you guys.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, for all the talk that China gets, it's like it's one of these weird markets right now that I feel like something's gonna happen there that's pretty soon, like shit's gonna explode and everybody's gonna want to go in there for good.
Well, you know, Slipknot can't go. there. You know what I mean? I mean, it's stuff like that. They still do ban certain types of music. They ban people that have controversial messages. I think that for the most part, it's a great place eventually to be able to tour. Right now, it's just very restrictive. So I've got bands that are absolutely nobody's here. It's the best way to put it. They're nobody here. But they get on these certain, I don't know who they know, they get on these certain tours over in China, like these little festival tours. And it's the kind of thing where it doesn't matter if the townspeople know what it is, they all go to it. Okay. And we're talking about bands that will play here to 5 to 10 people, going over there and playing in front of 3,000 people because their message is potentially, you know, kind of, it works. It worked to get them their visas. Do you know what I mean? So it's positive messages. It's you know, it's not controversial type of music, but they go over there, man, and everyone shows up, and we're talking about chasing people out of town, running after their bus, and all they saw was 30 minutes of this band play.
Wow,
it's pretty good money too, man. I mean, the market exists. It's really interesting place.
It's strange that you bring that up because my drummer late last year went over to China and did a whole, like, because he has a percussion orchestral background. And so he went over there and did like a whole tour of China where they were playing like greatest hits of Broadway kind of thing. And he was there for maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And it was just, the demand was there. It was packed houses. Like, he's sending me pictures from like Disneyland in Shanghai or Beijing, wherever that one is. And it's just like, oh my God. Yeah. Like making a living going over and playing a tour in China.
Yeah, this dude Bent Tom says it sounds like they actually appreciate good music in China. And that's not what I'm actually saying. I'm saying that they show up because it's like the festival is in town. Like the circus is here, everybody goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they are like obsessive about, they do the Beatles thing for bands that have never had it happen to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
So it could be a big time ego booster.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Man.
It's kind of interesting though, man, because like, I don't know. I don't get the same sense that in China, anything other than the touring would really work. Like, I don't know how China's doing in terms of putting, you know, Americans in advertisements or having them endorse things for them. I don't know if the market there actually responds positively to that. For instance, like it would in Japan or Korea, which does a lot of eating up of American, you know, culturalism and whatnot and consumerism.
Yeah.
And I don't have as many Chinese artists on the roster overall. There's, you know, we've got Indonesia and Vietnam and Philippines, Japan, Korea, lots of those kinds of markets have artists that kind of fit the Orange mold right away in terms of rock, psychedelic, you know, psychedelia. Why am I not just saying psychedelic rock?
I don't know.
Trying to play with words.
Stop trying to make words up.
I wasn't making. I think those were real words. I think there was the same word pronounced differently twice. And
sure. Whatever you say, bro.
Hey, man, cheers. It's later here than it is there.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but what I was saying is that, you know, for instance, the other day I was doing Artist Relations Corner, and with me, Alex, Artist Relations Manager for Orange. Thanks for being here. I was doing Artist Relations Corner, and this guy named Rekti from the Philippines or Indonesia came on to like co-host, because on Fridays we have people just come in and co-host with me, and they can show off their gear and do all that other stuff. And anyways, he joined, and all of a sudden the view count went up to like 400 people watching. And I was like, oh, shit, who's this guy? Sure enough, he's just like, there's this awesome psychedelic rock band from Indonesia. And this guy happened to be the guitarist and vocalist. I was like, man, let's talk after this is done. You know what I mean? I discovered some new tunes, and he was amazing, man. And he has a huge following. You know, man, it's just there's certain countries that the orange tone, the way that I know it, rock, metal, punk, you know, or those kinds of music, popular kinds of music. It's not the same thing. In China, for instance, they're pretty much doing like, I mean, Orange is kind of a clean amp.
Okay.
To them.
Okay.
They're kind of, I mean, it tends to be that they're getting used that way.
So I'm guessing the Trem Lord is pretty popular right now there.
I don't know if Trem Lord, Rocker 32, I'm pretty sure is killing it. I think Rocker 15 was killing it. I know that our Crush series kills it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you guys watching, or girls for that matter, have not played the Crush Pro series. But if you have not, you're doing yourself a disservice. And if you really want the orange tone at a reasonable price point, if the UK made tube amps are out of your price range, you owe it to yourself to check out the Crush Pros.
Yeah. I mean, if you like Crowbar, I brought one down to Kirk. He plugged it in. He said, I can finally get rid of these Randalls. Now it's that and the TH30. He uses both of them together. That amp is seriously the best analog solid state amp anyone's made in the last 30 years, maybe even 40 years. Yeah, it's an incredible amp. And I just saw a list of new products that will be releasing through 2021.
Nice.
And I guess I probably shouldn't have brought that up while we were talking about the Crush Pro, but
I'm sorry.
Anyways, I saw a cool list, you guys.
Yeah, he won't be telling you, but he'll be telling me off air. I'm totally kidding, but not at all. Oh my God. Yeah. The Crush Pros just were like, you know, ironically, him saying like, I can finally get rid of these Randalls. When I bought the Rocker Verb, it was either the Rocker Verb or one of their old MTS tube heads.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the two amps that I was going between. And said earlier, Prince bought his oranges through True Tone. Well, I decided to buy my orange through True Tone because they were one of two dealers in SoCal back when I bought mine.
Yep, True Tone in Santa Monica. And they've been a full line dealer with us for many years. I mean, at least the 13 that I've been here.
Yeah. And at least as long as I've been looking at orange as an option to buy in the marketplace.
Yeah, they rule.
Fucking amazing.
Dude.
Dude. Okay, Aaron's saying.
So, anyways, Donald Trump. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
all right.
Who's to say? All right, Aaron's saying they have a Crush Pro at the studio rehearsal space. Aaron, if they have it, he likes it. There you go. Still a Rocker Verbs. Obviously not as price accommodating as the Crush. Well, that's just the price you pay for analog solid state versus tube. JJ's House of Jams. What's going on, JJ? Just to solve the Mesa versus Orange 212 question, my Orange annihilates my Mesa. Ended up putting greenbacks in the Mesa. Nice choice. Nice choice. But I would say, like, I know you said last week on Artist Relations Corner, the first one you did that was on Facebook and YouTube, that you got a lot of artists that pair up orange heads with other cabs. But for me, there's something about the way that an orange cab is constructed that's just like, I can't really imagine pairing it up with anything else. Yeah.
They're actually paper thin, horrible speaker cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
But the color orange causes this illusion.
Mm-hmm.
It's some sort of refractory alignment misguidance. I don't know. There's some sort of acronym for it. Anyways, what happens is that subconsciously you believe that the speaker cabinet is warmer, has more enhanced mid-range, is creamier, and your body assumes that it's heavy when you pick it up, but it's actually just that you're extremely weak. So It's really interesting, man. The color orange is so crazy to me. Very lots of conspiracy theories about the color orange. Cliff Cooper, of course, member of the Illuminati, and therefore, you know, obviously this is all some sort of thought experiment. This whole orange amps thing, and you guys all fell for it.
Yeah.
Well,
there is something to be said psychologically for the color orange. I mean, if you can Google it right now, there's tons of different psychological analysis of colors. And quite frankly, everything that they say psychologically with orange, before I actually looked all that information up, every single feeling that they said is associated with the color orange, and why everybody, you know, puts orange within their advertising, within their branding, is exactly the things I felt. And I feel smarter now that I have learned these things, and I am able to thereby use these psychological cues in order to influence the masses, in order to be able to grow my influence, grow my following, and basically build an evil empire.
Right. Well, we're way ahead of you there, man. I was actually on a business trip to the wall at the end of Flat Earth, and that dude, the alien guy from Blink-182 was there.
Wow.
And he and I were having this discussion while we were watching a velociraptor be born. And I'm telling you right now, dude, some shit's going to happen with mermaid people. I know it's the weirdest thing. We've actually been breeding mermaids with people. Oh my God. So that, and here's the deal. That's Aquaman. So Aquaman is actually just government propaganda to prepare you for real Aquaman happening. Yeah, exactly.
So if Aquaman exists,
yeah,
does Superman actually exist?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but all right, that's a whole different thing, actually. So Superman is from a different universe, right? The DC universe. But we actually live in Marvel universe. Yeah. Marvel, same number of letters as America, if America had one less letter. And that's, yeah, it all ties into Noam Chomsky has a whole book about it. I suggest you read it.
This is some thought-provoking shit right here.
Yeah, I actually probably shouldn't say anything else because you don't have the paid version of StreamYard, and therefore I think the government has access to this stream.
Okay. So basically, guys, if we want to be able to share this kind of information, you're going to need to support the channel on Patreon. You're also going to need to send in some super chats. StreamYard Premium is like $20 to $30 a month. So we got to make sure that we can have this stuff so we can share information like this with the entire world. We got to be off grid completely. We got to be hardwired. We got to generate our own internet. We got to grow our own food. Basically, we got to live off the lam. Basically, otherwise, Alex just can't share this kind of information with us. So maybe if we're able to keep this going, he'll join me again for another stream where we really dive in deep to this great.
If I'm not dead.
Yeah, if he's not dead.
If I'm not dead.
Yeah,
quite frankly.
So
have you guys ever read Behold a Pale Horse? Because that guy died in his front yard fighting the government, and I could see that happening to me at some point in my life. Wow, it's powerful stuff, huh?
We just don't want this kind of stuff to happen. We don't want this to happen. Oh,
we should definitely grow our own cannabis, Bent Tom. Like for sure. You should be doing that already.
Yeah, basically.
But overall, Orange is not a stoner brand. No one's ever associated us with the Cannabis Growing Fund. That was well played.
I want to thank Ben Tom for the $5 towards the Cannabis Growing Fund.
Did that dude actually give you $5?
He actually gave me $5.
Oh, people can give you money?
Yeah, it's called a super chat.
How do I turn that on when I have the paid version of my StreamYard and I can't just have money sent to me?
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna educate Alex for a moment. So bear with me here. So it happens when you stream through YouTube. So right now,
okay.
this is being fed to my YouTube,
Mhm.
and Super Chat is done through YouTube.
Gotcha.
So Ben Tom has graciously donated $5 to support the channel through YouTube, and that's how it happens.
Well, Ben Tom is quite frankly a fantastic human.
There you go, Ben. You have Alex's.
Is he, I guess he's a dude, probably a dude. If he's a dude, I'm sure he's got a
Looks like a dude.
honker, a real honker. Thanks, Ben Tom, for doing that. That's great.
Yeah, that's one of the many small.
Has anyone ever donated money to you on one of these live streams?
Yeah, dude. Oh, Ben. There you go. Ben Tom at again. Sean deserves money. He is a beast musician and a hell of a good died. He means
wow, dude, that's awesome.
Thanks, Ben. I appreciate that, buddy. So much.
Really cool of your family to this is a weird way for your family to give you your birthday present, but it's cool.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely not Sean's dad or anything or whatever.
Not my dad. Although my dad has jumped in on a couple of these live shows before and interacted with the people in the chat. So there you go. It's good stuff. Yeah,
you got
man.
good friends, but that's great.
No, man, it's great. Like a lot of the guys watching right now and that are active in the chat, they're here every week and they watch everything. They're interacting with the stuff. It's great. It's all like it's exactly.
How many of them do you think aren't wearing pants right now?
Well, if Quentin
show of hands.
If Quentin James was here, he would certainly not be wearing pants. I know everybody watching will know that to be true. As far as everybody else, raise your hands for no pants.
He's just got some more money.
Because Aaron is asking me not to share the masters that I sent. Oh, you mean, here we go, bootleg, everybody. This is the world premiere, the shittiest world premiere ever of Albus Band's latest single. Never mind.
That's well played, man. That was well played.
Yeah, you know, you got to have a little bit of fun. Gotta have a little bit of fun.
So anyways, lots of great gear talk on the gear-related live stream.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. This is just all of this has been about gear. Every single minute of it. And if it hasn't been, I didn't hear it. Oh my God. Can he do the Maker's Mark and the Chorus Light at the same time?
I can't. I've tried.
Oh. Suck.
I could mix them.
You could mix them.
Ugh.
But hold on. No. Wait. You could mix them, but you're not.
No, don't. Oh my God. It almost canceled itself out. It basically just canceled itself out.
Oh my God.
I can't taste anything.
So
it was like air.
You drank nothing.
Ugh.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's really the idea of it that was grossing me out.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Oh my God, Ben saying that looked harsh. How harsh would you rank that experience on a scale of 1 to 7?
2, because I imbibed alcohol, so that's a positive. It tasted like nothing, so that's a positive. But the thought of it was terrible, and the afterthought of it was terrible too. So really, it's basically a 0. It's almost like it didn't even happen.
There we go. So the last minute and a half did not happen. Go back, rewind, erase, cut, paste, put it all together. And that didn't happen.
Look at Ben over here. I'd love to demo the Terror Stamp. Terror Stamp, great amp and a pedal. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Very much so based on the Micro Dark, very similar to it in tone, little shape. Look at that little guy right there. What a fantastic little piece of kit. I'm going to say kit because the British have rubbed off on me. I'm also going to say that it was a great shout to develop that amp, which is another British ism. Ben Coombs.
Yes, 2 O's.
Coombs.
Yeah.
Okay. You would call it the tramp stamp. If you say terror stamp fast enough.
Terror stamp, terror stamp, terror stamp, terror stamp, terror stamp, terror stamp, terror stamp. Yeah.
It doesn't create tramp stamp. It creates terrorist stamp. And can you beep this out? Oh, wait, it's live. No, I thought about it a lot. I was like, oh no, it sounds like something else. But that's just me. That's just me. Is Drew Foppy still here? There's no way he's still here. He's got kids.
I don't know.
If Drew's still here, Drew, let's talk about something, man. Because obviously Drew Foppy is one of the best guitar techs in the game. Drew is responsible for getting Orange many, many artists to the Used, Deftones, Fleetwood Mac. These are not necessarily scores that I've made. I may have closed the deal and kept the artist satisfied over the years, but quite frankly, that initial introduction is very hard to come by sometimes, and it needs to come from a reputable source, and Drew Foppy is one of the greatest guitar techs alive.
Well, somebody else is giving me money. Terry's G&G with $2 Canadian.
That's great, Terry.
SPJ is Orange Man.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. He said it. He said it. Oh,
he's still here. Yay.
Yay. Fantastic.
You got to find, what are you up to, Drew? I mean, that all for real, guys, if you don't know this, there are a handful of guitar techs on this earth that are literally in demand all the time because they can do anything. And Drew Foppy is one of them. He's seriously one of the most important guitar techs. And I meet a lot of different bands. I endorse a lot of bands because of guitar techs, because of tour managers, production managers, industry people in general. And I always say this, like, you can try to get an endorsement through our website, through the sign-up form, but and we do check those. Honestly, we check them. We try to respond to all of them in time. But the likelihood of that is obviously lower. Yeah. Because a lot of the endorsements that we get come to us from trusted sources. Drew Foppy would be one of the main trusted sources, quite frankly. A couple other guys that may, ring bells. Brian Diaz of Fall Out Boy. He's worked with a lot of different people. Josh Newton, who used to be the bass player in Every Time I Die. He's tech for a lot of different people over the years. Brian Erb, is Alice in Chains guitar tech, right? That's right. That's his name, right? Shit. Drew. I've been drinking, Drew. Help me out here.
Well, if Drew's not busy, I can always just invite him to join us right now if you want to talk to him.
Hey, I got a few more minutes, Drew. Yeah, and Drew always posts great repair and fix-it tips. Dude, Drew's story about him doing it was Shakira's guitar. His story about redoing that Shakira guitar, like with the gold wrap overnight and staying up all night to make a guitar that is not gold in a hotel room look gold from top to bottom.
Wow.
That dude's he's a beast. Oh, cool, man. Drew, you should come on and talk gear.
Yeah, I mean, Drew, if you want to join in, I'll send you the link. You just need to let me
do your own one with
do your own one.
SeanPierceJohnson someday.
Yeah, would love to have you on. It would be awesome. You just let me know where I can find you, and we can talk days and times and everything. He's got let's see. There we go. Ben has linked to Drew's YouTube channel. So please do go check that out. I will be doing that. Probably not after this stream, but at least tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I plan on drinking more after this.
Oh, cool. Shit. There you go. If Drew comes in, I'm going to do a little bit more of this here.
Drew, where can I send you the link?
Send me a link. I'll send it to Drew.
You have the link in your Facebook messages, so you can just do that.
Oh, is that the same one?
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
I can
Don't
get up.
worry.
I can get up to 6 people on here. So this is
Even on the unpaid version.
even on the unpaid version. I'm testing things out, man.
Let's see if this link works. Try that one, Drew.
I'll talk. There we go. I'll talk gear anytime.
I'll talk to you anytime.
Nice. Fantastic.
Ben,
There we go.
gotcha, bro. I know what you mean.
Oh, maybe I should have brought up 2 beers with me. Maybe I should have.
Probably.
This is the way that it goes. Basically, most of the time when Alex and I talk, it's usually concerning beer or content. That's usually all it is.
So,
by the way, have you been able to get Tropicalia lately?
Yeah.
Yeah?
All the time.
Because I know
it's everywhere now.
Oh, it's everywhere now. Because I remember for a while you were like, yep, having a hard time coming by it.
It was tough for a little while, man. They were only satisfying certain big retailers. And what happened was they started making shit tons more. Yay! I think it was mainly because of that Thor that in the Marvel movie, whatever it was, when Thor was drinking it.
Okay.
Yeah, Thor was. I think Fat Thor was drinking Tropicalia. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Because they filmed that here in Atlanta. You know what I mean? So.
I did not know that.
Right on, right on.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I actually ended up finding something on the level of Tropicalia. But because it's been a long time since I've had it, I can't say with 100% certainty whether it's as good or better than. There's a brewery in San Clemente called Lost Winds that makes a beer called Tropiclemente. And, dude, it's fucking crazy. So good.
Is it as good as Tropicalia? Do you think it's better?
It might be just as good, but I need to have Tropicalia again to know for certain. Ladies and gentlemen, special surprise guest.
Yeah. What's up, Drew?
Fellas?
Hey, Drew. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for letting me join.
Hey,
boy, you got the COVID hair.
Yeah, you know it's been a rough life not been able to leave the house for a minute. So I should be somewhere probably in Europe right now, but I'm not.
Were you supposed to go on any big tours before the whole lockdown started?
Yeah, I was actually like 15 hours away from jumping on a plane to New Zealand with Deftones.
Oh, damn.
When we got the call from management, said do not get on that plane. The tour's canceled.
Oh,
that was in March, and then April. So we were doing New Zealand and Australia, then coming back. We had just finished a couple weeks of rehearsals. We went home for 5 days so the gear could get to New Zealand. So the gear landed. As soon as the gear landed, it had to come right back, and we never actually left. And then April was supposed to be filled up with Sheryl Crow dates. I was filling in for Andy Wolf, who was out with Pearl Jam. So when he goes to PJ, I come in to do Sheryl Crow for him. And then May through December was back to Deftones, and so I haven't really gone anywhere.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, dude. I mean, when on March 13th, that was the day when the Orange Instagram, which I oversee, was just nothing but tour cancellations for like 2 or 3 days, you know? Yeah. And then past that point, my emails from artists have been nothing but orders and content, 0 loan requests. I mean, it's practical. It's nothing. No one is doing anything this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a weird year, but it'll hopefully kick back up.
Please.
I mean, sometime.
I know, man. Kick back up, please.
I'm not spoiling anything by saying this, but most people are honestly saying April of next year for most arena tours to happen.
Yeah,
they're mostly riding the sports wave. When baseball starts or whenever sports starts, then it's going to be okay for concerts. We'll wait to see on that. But there are a couple bands going out starting in the next couple weeks. Theater, doing
Trapped.
theater. Probably, yeah, and some, theater bands and stuff. But yeah,
he went there. He went there.
Alex has no shame, and I love him for it. I've known him for just as long as he's been at Orange. So
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Man,
100%.
I'm so bummed for you that was right before a New Zealand trip, because a few years ago I got the chance to spend 2 weeks down there, and that's some beautiful country right there.
Absolutely. I mean, when you step off the plane down there, you can instantly breathe the fresh air. It is amazing. Australia, New Zealand, some of my favorite places in the world for sure. But yeah, definitely missing out. We were hoping that maybe in October we might be able to figure something out and remake up all the dates that we were supposed to have. But it's still waiting to hear on all that stuff, But
yeah. Even though it seems that New Zealand is basically winning the COVID lockdown game, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, it's every place is a little bit different. I had to drive to Los Angeles. I live in Phoenix.
Okay.
All my tools were in storage, Deftone storage in Los Angeles when the gear came back from New Zealand. I have multiple work boxes for A and B rigs, but I was able to take my whole B rig work box apart and pull out all the drawers and flip the case in my car, and I drove it back home just so I could have tools and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, every state's different. When I went in California, I couldn't even go into a gas station to pay for gas without a mask. Where I live in Arizona, we're all still cowboys, I guess, and we're pretty much lifted the whole entire
Bro,
band,
I'm in Georgia.
Well, yeah, but you're not a cowboy.
No, but like I'm getting looks at the grocery store for wearing my mask.
Oh, I get it, man. Yeah, it's one of those things where depending on the store that you go to, you're either the outcast or part of the flow. But as long as you just support people what they want to do, I guess. If you don't, you can't be mad at someone for wanting to wear a mask, and I can't fault someone for not wanting to wear it. It's their choice,
Yeah.
But
where I live in Orange County, we're our area is predominantly old right-wing voters. So
totally.
There are several neighbors of mine that I have literally heard the words, "This is a hoax."
Right.
And I'm like, okay, but have fun with it, Alex.
Nailed it.
Have fun with
it. God,
so funny.
No, not this. Not this. The other one. The one where Drew's small. I like that one.
Yes. Yeah. Keep me small.
No worries.
It's amazing.
But yeah, man, it's the weirdest thing right now, because I totally thought at the beginning of this, I'm going to upload so much content. It's going to be so good because everybody's going to be inside. No bands are touring right now. And it was flat line. Nobody's watching anything.
And to be honest, not a lot of people are doing anything either. All this stuff that people said they're going to make and, do in content and stuff. I mean, it's happening, but not on the scale that they thought they would actually do. So it goes both ways there. But yeah, I totally understand what you mean.
Yeah.
You got anything cool in that room?
I do actually. Here, I'll pull this guitar out.
Oh shit. Here we go. Show and tell time, boys and girls.
Apologize the mess, but so this guitar, I was out with Smashing Pumpkins the last couple years, and we had Noel Gallagher out on tour with us.
The guy that smashes watermelons. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, the other Gallagher.
The other
But
Jeffrey Gallagher, PhD, biophysicist.
Yes, that guy. So hold on, so I have this.
Very cool.
I'll go this way. Well, I can't even see it. I don't know how to flip.
Isn't that the one you've wanted forever?
It is. So this one is his. Not his signature, but it's one of 400 in the world, and he actually signed it for me on that tour. So that was a cool one.
Dude, I remember those very fondly. They were those Union Jack Sheratons are something really special.
Yeah, I mean, I still play it, you know what I mean? It's one of the, I don't know, Noel Gallagher's like a huge influence for me. I like Brit pop and stuff like that. So it was a cool day, but I still play it. Sounds awesome.
I've been to one Oasis concert ever, and I got to watch Liam sit on the side of the stage and freak out and not do anything and just stare at me in the crowd.
That's
and then,
amazing.
and Noel took over, you know, and just did like 5 songs just singing. It was that period where Liam would just walk off and just get pissed. And then Noel had to take over and finish the concert. I got to see one of those.
Do you know what's funny is when they were on tour, when Noel Gallagher and the High Flying Birds were on tour with us, there was, everybody obviously asked the question, hey, is Oasis getting back together? You know, and it wasn't something that anybody's willing to talk about or anything, but man, I heard all the old stories of, you know, I heard the story of the night it actually happened where the band broke up, and it was crazy. And I won't get into details on it because it's way, way too intimate on that one. But they were literally on the verge of this year possibly just getting in the same room, and that could have been huge for them. You know what I mean? I'd go see that show if Oasis.
Hell yeah, I would too. I love Oasis.
You know, that'd probably be one of the biggest selling concerts of whatever year we start touring again.
Yeah, I was really stoked about. I went out to San Diego. I brought a whole bunch of shit. I left every single piece of that shit with Isaiah Mitchell, guitarist for Earthless, and the new lead guitarist for, I'll just say guitarist for Black Crowes. The Black Crowes, man, they were gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was so stoked about scoring Isaiah, you know, for Black Crowes. And, you know, we were talking about the rig. It was going to be custom shop 50s and, you know, the full deal. And then, of course, nope. So, never. Yeah. I don't know, man. I really want to see Black Crowes do it again. You know, I bet with you know, like a refresh in the lineup, man, I bet they can kill it.
Didn't they actually end up getting back together though last year?
They're back. Yeah, they're back together. They announced a tour.
Okay, so it's the tour that's officially been canceled.
Yeah.
They got back
everything's canceled, dude.
The excitement happened, and then it's like, oh, see you later, smell you later.
But then again, you never know. During this whole lockdown thing, somebody's going to get pissed off at somebody, and next thing you know, oh nope, the tour's canceled because we hate each other again.
Yeah, and then they'll realize, man, we haven't worked in a really long time. We could really use a paycheck. Let's get back together.
For real.
So Terry's GG&G said that Evanescence had mentioned they might be shooting to try to start touring in October. And I'm very good friends with Troy, who actually Drew introduced me to.
Yep.
Who's the guitar player. He lives about 1.5 miles away from me. So we hang out all the time now.
Wow. Okay.
I love Troy. He's a great dude.
I don't know about that, man.
Really?
That October touring?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That doesn't sound right to me.
Shinedown was supposed to be doing stuff. They were holding out to the very last minute, and then they just recently canceled their run too, didn't they? So I mean, they were supposed to go out in October, November. So I think they just pulled the plug on that on like a week or two ago. So I don't know. I mean, look, where I live right now, water parks are opening in next week. All the movie theaters are open. On June 7th they open. I don't know how far behind everything is, but again, in Arizona, we just had the most cases of COVID in one day ever.
Well, fuck yesterday. You, Georgia's gonna be back on top soon. Don't worry.
You can have the rank.
Yeah, right.
It's not a number one.
It's almost like we're trying for it. So
this is not exactly a contest we should be playing right now.
We're number two.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Hey, I have a question. For Drew, since this is since I'm being interviewed here, and Drew
I didn't mean to hijack
rudely interrupted.
I just came in.
We literally invited you. No. What is your favorite piece of Orange gear?
Ever.
Well, it comes from two different perspectives, right? So I have the guitar player perspective and then the tech perspective. So it's not fair to pick one, because but the original Rock Reverb, still the Rock Reverb 50 though, with 6B6s. There's something magical about that amp. So the amp that I bought, I had the 50, and I was working for Quinn Allman of the Used at the time, and he was actually playing my amp out on tour because he loved it so much.
Mm-hmm.
But that amp was just something magical about it, and I actually went in and I did some stupid mods to it that made it just a little bit tighter in the low end, which he loved, and they ended up recording a bunch of albums with that specific amp. And I never got the amp back because I just gave it to him by the end because he had been using it for 4 years, and I was just like, dude, just keep it. I mean, it's your tone, his tone. So that amp evolved into, you know, some of their biggest albums. But the Rockerverb 50 Mark 1, still one of my favorite amps.
Yeah.
And on the tech side of things, I just love the valve tester. Saves my butt. I mean, I've actually done videos with you guys on it.
We're all out of them, man. So if anybody's seeing this and you need a valve tester and you can find one new still, go buy it because we're done. We're done.
I have 2 of them. I'll rent one out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're done.
I'm keeping them both.
A little bit of background. We are considering a model, version 2. So hopefully we're going to come out with that. But the first one is over, man, for now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I still use it on every tour. So it's one of those pieces of gear that is a legacy piece now, obviously. And even like the lunchbox amps, like on Deftones, Chino was using the dual tears for forever. We for the longest time, I'd actually just throw it on my shoulder and fly with it on the airplane when we were doing just fly dates, and then we would just rent a cabinet wherever.
Yeah, why not?
Chino's like, "Can I have my amp?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll just carry it on the plane." And it was early on when airports didn't really know what tubes were and transformers. They wanted to take the whole thing apart. I was like, "Dude, it's just an amp." So I would physically start pulling the tubes before we flew and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, those amps are still killer amps too. And the Terror series, NAM, the Terror stamp, and I said that fast too. But
the Terror stamp.
Yeah, that one. But I mean that thing sounded crazy good at NAM.
Dude, the best part about it for me has been just I am so astounded at how good it sounds as a clean amp.
Right?
Just being able to pump up whatever pedals that you want into it. Of course, this is something that a couple guys that regularly watch the channel and I have had discussions on, like the practice of dialing in a pedal versus dialing in an entire guitar rig. Like that's one of the things that you'll have to take into account if this is going to be a centerpiece of your rig. But it's so easy to get it to that point. Like it's not that hard to figure out. You just have to kind of stop thinking about the individual pieces and think about how they work together. But
for sure,
I absolutely love it. It is so good.
Here's a funny quick story on the little the micro tears. I was on tour with Shakira. We were in rehearsals, and Tim Mitchell, her guitar player, he has a full wet, dry, wet rig, and the wet amps that he was using were the old H&H power amps like Van Halen had. And I had both of them had been in storage in Miami for like 14 years, and no one had ever even opened the lid to the case. So we opened it up, and all the foam had melted inside all this gear, and all the gear was destroyed. And I'm stuck in Barcelona. I can't speak the language very well. I can't go to a music shop and pick anything up. So I know the Orange stuff so well. I was like, I can just use micro tears as left and right, and we can make a wet rig out of this, and we can have it fit in the 2 spaces or 3 spaces in your rack, and I can take that thing out. We can just literally keep your rack how it is. He's like, I don't believe you. So I went down to the music store, and I was like, hey, I need to buy 2 of these little amps, and because they run on a transformer power supply, you can use them anywhere in the world, 110 to 240 volts. So it was perfect for me because I'm buying in a country that's 240 volts. And I plug them in, and sure enough, we had that rig back up and running while I was getting the other stuff fixed, sourcing parts from eBay for trying to get all the parts to fix these ancient, transistor power amps back together. But for a whole entire rehearsals and through the beginning part of the tour, that we were using the micro tears in a full wet, dry, wet rig as left and right.
Wow.
So, I mean, the Orange stuff is, I mean, it's reliable. And they were like $150 a piece. So for $300, I had a full rig back up and running, where these power amps are a couple grand a piece, you know? But yeah, the same day I was up and going, just with a little help from the little micro tears. Those things are awesome too.
Bro, shout out to these dudes, Ben, Bent, Tom, and Terry, and
yeah, man,
Ryan, and people that are sticking it out for this, man. You got some fucking fans, bro.
Yeah, dude, they fucking stick it out. They stick it out with me every week.
I want you guys to see my Eddie Money autographed.
Yeah. Show and tell time now with Alex.
Oh man, his headphones are off.
Headphones off. Eddie Money picture coming into play.
This is Eddie Money right here.
That's
and
awesome.
yeah. It says, Alex and Jen, for $1 million, I'll definitely play your backyard party. And that's a reference to a Reno 911 episode where somebody asks one of them, what would you do with $1 million? And he says, I'd hire Eddie Money to play my backyard barbecue. And so I got Eddie Money to say that. And then this is my daughter's first drawing ever that she gave to me. And to me, it looks like Morty from Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
That's amazing. Apparently Brian owes me money, and he's hooking up. I mean, you know, super chats are always available. Just saying. Hey, you know, I actually have a question.
The late night version of this show with Sean is also a big money maker. So come back later on.
The late night version
when the red light's on.
This is the Skinamax version.
No pants required version.
Oh, this is
StreamYard. Later on, it turns into SteamYard.
Oh, woof. This is turning out to be so good. I love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, how about I got a question.
This is the artist relations experience from Orange, by the way. I just want to say that it's not that I'm not playing guitar with you. I'm not helping you figure out how to build your rig. When you come to town, I'll make sure that you have good food and have good drink. And, you know, in the meantime, I'll make sure that you got some shit when you're over in Europe as well, man. You know, some loaner gear. I'll make sure your stuff gets fixed. But mainly, I want to hang out and I want to drink with you and eat with you. That's artist relations, Orange style. When you're here, you're family. And I made that up.
Yeah, exactly. You must understand as I've said before, when Alex and I talk, we don't talk about this stuff. It's more like, hey, dude, here's the video link. You do something with it so that I can, you know, increase my following and whatnot. Oh, by the way, I tried this really awesome barrel-aged beer the other day. If I can get some of it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, guitars are stupid. So just kidding. Guitars are rad.
Even though all three of us make our living surrounded by the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Ben Coombs wants to say hi at Next NAMM. Don't come say hi to me, Ben. Let's email each other. That's a way easier way of doing this. I don't want to, you know.
I will attest, Ben. Don't even bother trying to. This is, oh my God. So I have to tell the story about the year that I actually became an Orange Amps artist. Because that was the year that I remember you guys were bombarded at the NAMM show.
Yeah.
It was the year after you guys must have just exploded, because it seemed like every asshole in the world wanted to come talk to you, Alex, and try to get free shit. One of those assholes was me.
Oh, which year? Which 11? Which 12 NAMMs that I've been to are you referring to? Which one?
My guess is that it was probably 2010 or 2011.
Sure.
But
which one are you saying was the year where everyone wanted free shit and was super annoying to me?
That's every year, though.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
But I recall my favorite moment of the weekend was I had tried to talk to you for about 2 days already, and I was about to give up. And then I forget who told me to just come back at a certain time and like Don't come talk to him any other time other than this. Okay, fine, I'll come back. Of course, I come back, and there's this guy who looks like a, fucking dollar store Zach Wilde. Like, must be like 6'6", 6'7". He's this like tatted up, muscle bound dude in like a fucking tank top and like ripped Ed Hardy jeans. Like,
and that was me.
Yeah, and that was you. And
after 4 Red Bulls.
And I was like, oh shit, I got to talk to that guy. Okay. But I just remember thinking to myself, as I'm watching some of these guys try and come up and talk to you, just like, wow, I feel so bad for this guy.
Oh, the guy trying to talk to me was the 6'6",
yes,
Zach Wilde looking guy. Yeah. I think I may actually remember that. Honestly, man. I mean, there's been a lot of people at NAMM over the years, and I've even written like an article about it for an Orange, like how to get an endorsement at NAMM. Essentially, the gist of it is don't try to get an endorsement at NAMM. But I mean, at this point, like if you come up, or if Drew were to come up at NAMM, we'd have to leave the show floor and go into the room. And it's kind of just like, it sounds so obnoxious. It really does, man. I think about it a lot. I think about how obnoxious it sounds when I talk about how I don't make cards because I don't want anybody to try to give them out. Everybody at NAMM tries to protect me and tells everybody, I'm not there even though I'm standing 4 feet away. Because
I love it.
Because
I saw that last year, or this last year at NAMM. It was amazing.
For me, NAMM is 4 days of whatever like artists go through on tours where they get paid for it because people have bought like great package tickets to come and like do a meet and greet ahead of time. And so but here's the thing, man, like I'm also responsible for our NAMM booth, and I plan it and I do all the shit related to it. And so I'm trying to oversee it. And I'm trying to get artists there to come do signings. And I'm trying to make sure that everybody has candy in their bowls in their rooms, man. I mean, it's that kind of shit. And so like to be constantly like lines forming of people trying to say hello and that's okay, man. Like some artists I'm interested in coming up to me and saying hello, people that I have established relationships. It's the only time I get to see them throughout the year. And so they come up and I'll bring them into the back and I'll show them some new gear and whatnot. But other than that, man, there's a lot of dipshits there too, dude. There's a lot of just like dadagers, momagers.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like my kid's gonna be the shit. I'm like, he's great, but he's not the shit now. So what are we doing here? Like,
it's just it's one of the, I guess you could say, one of the hallmarks of how successful you guys have become as a company, that so many people want to be involved with you guys. But at the same time, it's one of those things where you can only take so much of the same thing before you're just like you said, I don't make business cards. I don't want them handed out. And I totally get that.
Yeah. That's because the best references come from people like Drew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where the references come from. That's where I meet the big artists, because Drew's flip-flopping all the time between different big artists and he's bringing his love of Orange with him. And so I say this all the time. If you can find somebody like Drew that I trust, wholeheartedly to deliver and get their recommendation, then you're a step closer already, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just like at NAMM this year, I mean, when I finally got to see you, I waited to like the second to last day to even come find you, because I saw you a couple times, like I'll come tomorrow. And then when I finally saw you, like, dude, I haven't eaten all day. It's like 5 o'clock. I was like, well, let's take a break. We left the booth, we got you food, and then, we went outside just to escape the madness for like 5 minutes. And then I was like, I just text my buddy who plays bass in the Black Moods, and I had him come outside just to say hey to you, but I didn't try to do anything but just at least get to FaceTime with you on it. Yeah. I was like, dude, whatever you do not say anything about gear. Do not say you want anything. I was like, leave him alone. If anything, bring him weed and food, and then we'll talk.
So true.
This is how Drew knows the way to Alex's heart.
You do. He really does amazing, dude. No, but for real, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. And I went out, but I would spend a lot of time outside. I would take meetings outside. I was like, you want to talk? And I do want to talk to you, whoever you are, somebody like Drew or you, Sean, like if we want to talk, let's go outside. Let's get away from this booth, dude.
Yeah.
Damn, it's
And it's also the only place you could actually hear anything too.
Oh,
it was actually
yeah.
crazy. It was nuts. This year was crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's always crazy, but it seems like this year was like overboard. I got lost walking around. It got so big, this time around.
Yeah.
Now
Now
the last couple of years has been really, really busy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they've. Well, here's a good example. I obviously, like I said, I plan the Orange booth, so I'm aware of how many tickets we get to give away, passes, and they gave us last year, 2 years ago, 2 NAMs ago, they started giving us double the allotment. So I have like 250 passes to give away now, where it was 100 and maybe 25 before. It's based on the space that you purchase.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have a pretty big space.
Newsflash, don't ask me to ask Alex to give you NAM badges because I'm not going to do it.
Bro, I didn't use about 90 of the badges. And for a lot of people, oh God, I shouldn't even be saying this. God. I almost feel like I shouldn't say anything else.
Well,
not all of my shit went to use.
Well, let's just say that. I'll let you contemplate. And Bent just says, Alex, if I met you, I would bring weed and not ask for anything, as I just want to chat about weed, craft beer, and cool stuff like that with people. So there you go.
There you
got
go.
a great little fan base here, bro.
2021 in a nutshell coming
Solid fan base, dude.
I'm glad.
I really like your interaction is fantastic here.
Man, I like these people. They're good people. They come, they watch, and they have some fun. They interact with each other. It's the community that I want to build for guitar stuff.
Yeah. I don't have much else to say, but I do want to hear Drew.
Oh no.
I do want to hear Drew say his most. What's your most? Okay, the Shakira gold guitar is an insane story. Okay.
Right.
Getting that done. What is the craziest thing that you've ever pulled off?
Okay.
In a pinch.
I don't even know, man. I mean, every day's like something seems cataclysmic happens on the road. I'll just tell the Shakira story because you mentioned it, but it's like one of those things where the name of the tour was the El Dorado tour. It was the last tour she did, last album. She decided in rehearsals that she's going to play electric guitar, but she didn't bring an electric guitar, and we didn't have any sent from Miami because she said she wasn't going to play any, and it was just going to be acoustics. But then all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, I need electric." I was like, "Okay, not a problem." I was like, "I have an electric guitar here." She's like, "But I don't have any amps." I was like, "Not a problem. Hey, Orange, I'm in Barcelona." That Orange stopped the custom shop, made me 2 white Rock Reverb 212 combos, sent them from England to Barcelona. I had them within a week, and then literally gave Shakira my guitar. I had a Yamaha Revstar at the time, and I just brought it as like a hotel guitar, and she loved it. So she was playing that through the Orange amps, which she loved. And then she's like, "This guitar is great, but I want it gold." I was like, "Oh, okay. It's my guitar." She's like, "Yeah, but it needs to be gold." I was like, "Okay, not a problem." So Robert Catt, the guy, he's a really cool airbrush artist who does really awesome guitar work. He also lives in Barcelona, but he was helping build her set. And I noticed he had this gold vinyl that he was wrapping stuff with. And I was like, "Dude, do you have any spare scraps? I need to make my guitar gold, and I need to do it tonight after rehearsals." So he gives me a couple sheets of scraps, and we finished, I don't know, like a 14-hour rehearsal day. I go back to my hotel room and was like, "I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I have to make this guitar gold. She wants it tomorrow gold." So I did I took all the hardware off, all the electronics, pulled the pickups. I had gold pickups in my work box. I put gold pickups in. I spray painted the pickup ring covers gold because you can't find gold pickup ring covers. And then I vinyled the top and the headstock and all that stuff and took all the tuning machines off. I did everything. I did it all through the night and woke up. I probably got like 2 hours of sleep, if that. Woke up just in time to catch the shuttle to the rehearsal place. And then she sees it. She's like, "Oh, this is really cool. But how come you didn't do the back in gold?" I was like, well, I will do
in
the
the
back
pit
in
of
gold.
my stomach, I knew that was going to be the response, but I was really holding out hope that wasn't going to be.
No. So she's like, "No, it looks great, but I need the whole guitar gold." I was like, "Even the parts people don't see?" She's like, "Yeah, absolutely. It needs to shine." I was like, "Not a problem." So I went back to my buddy Robert doing the set. I was like, "Hey, dude, I need a lot more vinyl. What do you got?" And he gave me one piece that was perfectly cut for the length of the neck and the back of the headstock, and then the body. And I've never wrapped a guitar before. And this isn't like the car vinyl that you see people do where they get the contours. This is paper vinyl. It's not easily workable, or it doesn't stick to curves very well.
Oh.
So my very first time vinyl wrapping a guitar with paper vinyl is in a hotel room at like 2 a.m. For Shakira. And then so I stay up the whole second night after rehearsals, and I do the whole neck and back, and I'm taking a spoon and a hair dryer, heating the paper up and then stretching it with the back of a spoon to get the contours. And it actually worked. It worked out great. And then I cut the binding out so you could see everything. So realistically, it took me 2 nights to do that guitar. But really, it took probably, I don't know, like 14 hours to do that stupid guitar. And then in the process, I was also having Yamaha actually gold dip her guitar, but the process was so intense and impossible because it's a set neck. You can't take the neck off. The chemical reaction process for gold mirror alloys happens instantly. So if they screw up any part of the guitar, it has to be done over. And they went through 5 guitars in the process of doing it till they got one. And she ended up keeping the one that I wrapped for most of the tour. And then her studio tech, Andros, he actually sent me a picture the other day. He's like, "Hey, Shaki still got your guitar and the gold one, but she still goes to this one." So she still plays the guitar. But yeah, I just let her keep it, I guess. And then Yamaha sent me another guitar in exchange because,
wow,
they were nice enough to do that because my guitar got hijacked.
Awesome.
But my guitar was blue, and then I made it gold. But yeah, so in 2 nights in rehearsals, no sleep, that stuff happens all the time. There was a Guitar World article that just came out with a bunch of texts or whatever. My buddy Willie G was on there, and he talks about an amp blowing up like right before, on a festival somewhere or whatever. And it was with Slipknot, and something happened, and Willie saw me fixing this amp right before the show, and the band never knew it happened and stuff like that. That stuff happened.
You talking about Willie G? You talking about William?
Oh yeah, Willie G.
Dude, I stand by this statement. I got him here. No. He'd be so mad if he heard that. No, I've been friends with that dude for a long time, man. He was in a band that I kind of endorsed back in the day called Hey Bastard.
Yeah.
And he made his way, but now he's working with Butcher Babies, and he was working with am I thinking about a different person?
Probably thinking of a different, but he was Dave Mustaine's tech for a long, long time.
Fuck no, it's a totally different person.
Totally different. Willie G.
Oh my god.
So Willie G and I, he's if a band has long hair, whatever, he's worked with them. I just did White.
I've heard of this dude, man. I feel like maybe I'm just.
So basically, if they have long hair and play pointy guitars, he's probably worked with them.
He's done it. Yeah, he's been a tech for forever. So, but yeah, he's but yeah, you would know Willie G if you knew Willie G. He's self-proclaimed the grumpiest tech out there.
Oh,
self-proclaimed. Grumpy and jaded.
Man. Do you believe him? Because I know a lot of shitty attitude techs.
but he doesn't even have that attitude. It's more of just like he's seen it and he's been through it. You can't phase him. See, if you try and make a big deal out of things, he's like, dude, really? So he he does nothing affects him. He's just like, oh, well, this guy just over there complaining about everything. He's that guy. So, but yeah, he's not really grumpy. I don't find him very grumpy, but he's self-proclaimed. That's why I think it's funny.
Shit, I think I am friends with him.
I know you are, and you have to be.
I guess Bent knows a little something. Willie G teched for Megadeth, Anthrax, Black Eyed Peas, Fergie, on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah. Willie's been around.
I think I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Yeah, you are. I'm sure you are.
I was thinking of somebody totally different. Who also goes by the name Willie, but I think he might be Willie B. Shit.
Well, Willie G, G-E-E.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as Alex said on one of his recent artist relations corners, his Facebook friends list is several thousand deep, and that is not bragging.
I did say it, and I said it just like that too. But no, what I said was that my friends list is several thousand deep on people trying to be my friend.
Oh, okay.
Which sounds now even more egotistical, but it's true. There's so many people that I haven't confirmed. I don't know who they are. Why would I want to be friends with them on Facebook? I post horrible shit to my Facebook. Why would I want to be friends with those people?
That's amazing.
The content you post is rather terrible.
That's what LinkedIn is for.
There you go.
Ah, yes. See, LinkedIn, professional. Facebook, shit show.
Yeah.
Basically. Well, this has been fun. Drew, thanks so much for popping in for this whole thing. We should probably let Alex go because it's like 3 hours ahead.
I have to piss so bad.
Yeah,
he said it.
Yeah, I probably have to get going too. My wife's made dinner, and I know I'm late. So,
and I know I have to get dinner started. But thanks, guys, so much for doing this, Drew. It was awesome to have you on for a little bit.
Thanks for having me on.
If you guys have some time in the future, maybe let's find a way to hook up, and maybe we can have you on, and we'll talk another time.
Absolutely, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Drew.
Also, Drew, you should come on my show too.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Artist Relations Corner with me, Alex, Artist Relations Manager for Orange, every Tuesday and Friday on Instagram.
You wonder how many times he has to say that in 1 week. That's the script.
He will get it right once. I know he will. Dude, I would love to be on anything you guys have. If you're interested in having me, I'd be more than happy to be part of it. So I really support everything that you guys are doing. So
awesome. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you so much. Alex, of course, you can find on Artist Relations Corner every Tuesday and Friday at what time?
I'm leaving.
Well, there we go. Alex is gone because he's got to pee. Drew, thanks so much for the impromptu hang.
My pleasure.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. Come back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. It's been a pleasure having you guys. I'm out. Good night, everybody.